happy for our viewers because they get to see this, to hear this. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Also, when you're sharing, it reminded me, there's this sentiment. Some people will be like, inspirational speakers and motivational speakers are frauds, they're bafere. What do you say about that? And it's that fallacy that some people might have.
I think for me, I usually preach what I've experienced. I come from a family where everything I was the first.
Wow.
The first to graduate senior 4, the first senior 6, the first university, the first to take a plane, the first, everything is first. Why? One, I count God to have given me the privilege and the blessing. But number 2, I'm one person who doesn't settle for less.
No mediocrity.
No. If I was in a job and I find that it's not working out for me, I have done an analysis and see it's not taking me anywhere. I've looked up and beyond and decided and what. And there's not going to be movement in the next 3 years. There's no reason why I should stay. Because 3 years is a lot to waste on my life. I can go and plan it somewhere else. Right? So I apply what... I'm not saying that for me, I am already there. I am driving whatever. No. I want to tell you that even as we are going through this life, once you apply yourself, once you are realistic about how you want to grow, for me, leaving employment was a game changer. The first year was hard. I've told you I didn't even have money to pay for my yaka at some point.
You're right.
It has been a game changer. When I look what I've done, and I think this is what I am called to do. There is someone who is going to flourish in employment. There's no problem. There's some people who are not called to do business. That's true.
That is true.
There's some people who just thrive in growing through the ranks until they become commissioner general. That's okay.
Yeah, that works for them.
Right? That's okay. But for me, I think I found where I thrive the most. And I want to give it my best. I want to serve the best. I want to make sure that there is as much impact as possible. Having this interview right here, right now, on a Tuesday, I wouldn't have had this time if I was in a job, I'm very sure. Someone's job. But I can manage the biggest privilege is I can manage my timetable. How I move, I can be in the UK today. I can get on the plane and to go to the UK today. So I think I am thriving where I am most, capable of bringing my whole skills and experience and value to those that need it.
Okay.
So motivational speaking is not bafere. Those ones who have decided to be bafere, that's okay. But for me, I want to share based on the experience and what people go through in their careers. At some point, someone feels stagnant. Trust me.
Yeah.
When you get into a job 1, 2, 3 years, nothing is happening to you. Salary is not increasing. You're not moving anywhere. You stop learning. You get frustrated. So waking up at 5 becomes a nightmare.
It's a drag.
You start getting pressure. There's a lot of people having pressure on jobs which they hate. And every morning, the pressure rises. In the evening, they go back very tired.
Yeah.
Why? Because nothing new is happening. There's no growth. Right? And so, for me, I customize this message to corporates who are just starting, mid-level, those ones who are at the top, and those ones who are just starting.
Okay.
How best can you make the best out of your career? Yeah?
All right. Okay. Thank you. And so you're a bit of a jack of all trades because you have SwiftMinds, you also have this business and career growth coach, but then you have been in the political space.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, we do some digging here. And you said you're from Zimbabwe, very hot in the politics. And so tell me, how has that experience been? What was it like branching into the political space?
It was a tough one. I think when you talk about jack of all trades, it's a very dangerous word.
Because they say master of none.
Yeah, because yes, that you're true. You're right. I am very multi-talented. I'm a recording artist. I have recorded music before. I can act. I can do business. I can do business development. What else? I mean, I am a poet. Yeah, so there's a lot. So as you grow, you realize, man, you have to streamline and do certain things that really make more sense. So I have had to trim a bit of my, there's things that now I have put into like music, for example. I do it for the pleasure of my soul and the pleasure of others. I still record music though. I still go to the studio. I write music. Yeah, but I play guitar, but for the pleasure. Yeah, someone listens to my song and it blesses them. Yes, but I'm not going to go in the market and say pushing and all that.
My music.
Yeah, so as you grow, you realize you don't have all the time to do everything. Yeah. It was in 2020 that I actually believed I would contest 5 years before, but only that I delayed, away studying. So when I came back, I wanted to achieve that goal. When you set a goal and you're like, okay, this is the time. I don't want to extend it.
Yes.
Yeah, and there was a lot of political and offset, like the political space changed in 2020 when we got the likes of NUP getting into the political space, but also it was the time where we made a major generational shift in terms of voting. The Gen Zs came into play, and which means any youth had a chance really. So for me, getting into politics and going to, I grew up seeing only one person, and that was Mr. Kutesa, Sam Kutesa. And I grew up saying, okay, I think I really also want to join and do something. Honorable Kutesa has done something. So as he gets old, what happens? And also the constituencies got cut and what, so there was opportunity for everyone to come and play. So I went.
Very gutsy.
I went. I contested. It was a tough one. But I learned so many lessons. One of the lessons that I learned is that you win before you win. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You win before you win. In politics, you win before you win, even in business. And I think it's one of the major principles that I use in business. If we must make certain target of revenue, we must win it now. In whatever we do, we must win. So for politics, I knew that you get to win. You get to win the stakeholders, not only the voters, the stakeholders. The DPC has to know you. The RDC has to know you. The LOC ones have to know you. Everyone who is a major influencer, a major person that holds a big opinion in community, in society, has to know you. So that is how you win. And for me, that was a very big lesson that I paid for over 100 million in campaign, just to learn that. I learned that nothing comes by mistake. You don't just come from nowhere and win.
And you win, yeah.
You don't just come from nowhere and start a business. You don't just come from nowhere and you're called manager or director or something. You plan. And those subtle steps, slowly by slowly. It was a very big experience. I was on the road for a whole year. Yeah. I was not working. I was just spending money.
Yeah.
But the beauty about it is, okay, then I had some gig. I was a consultant somewhere, and I was earning about 7 million a week. So I had some money going around and all that. But also I had, some other work. When you have your brain is working, you're always picking money and there. Yes. But it's not like I saved up for that campaign.
Because you just come back and you're jumping into
it's not like I saved up for that campaign. So for me, it was a big, big lesson. But also realize you don't have to be in elective politics to influence.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned
You don't
that
need a title.
not everyone should be in elective politics. You can just be the person pushing for better policies, for better agenda, for
That is
better, you can be that
better
person.
agenda. That's
Yeah.
true.
For me, I thought I had to be in parliament then, but the maturity I got from the campaigns was that you don't have to necessarily be in parliament. And listen, the people who are in parliament, I think they should always go there when it is time towards their retirement.
So should we say you packed this for until, let's say, after your retirement, a little bit later? Should we expect you to come back?
I cannot say yes, but what I can say is, I think better service would come from people who have really worked and have experience. And being in parliament is nothing to do with really making money, but clearly service. Because these people are contented, you have money, just like you see how in the US and the developed democracies do. You have to have money. Like, you're a person who is really contented in terms of money. Why? Because it's so demanding in terms of electorates. You have to, the money that you paid for is your salary, you take it back, and it's taken, it's eaten. You're in negatives. That's why you find most legislators are indebted and all that. But once someone goes there and they have quite a built business, a built muscle, I don't think money would be an issue really. Yeah, but for me, what I learned is win before you win.
You win before.
Yeah.
And I guess, it was a good experience. You learned what you learned.
Very good experience.
Pulled you to get better. Because you have to go through the furnace to get better.
Very good experience. I've had people who have gotten out with debts and all that. My biggest debt was 20 million, which I paid about. I paid about in a year, but it was painful. I didn't have the money to pay.
But you're still standing, and that's what counts. And the fact that you went through this process, it shows your heart for the people, and that's always a good thing. Like, you're here to serve. You said you are multi-talented. You have your foot in everything.
Yeah.
You said you're a singer, but then you're also you said you're a writer when we started the program. But usually writers are readers, correct? So what are some of those authors, some of those writers that you've read who will leave a lasting impact on you and have shaped how you see life?
I think for me, the guy that has had a very big impact on my life, one is the the late Miles Monroe.
Miles Monroe?
Yes. Right. Yeah. I have been a great consumer of his wisdom. I've always just listened to his tapes on YouTube, his books, and they've been really, really life-changing. But also the other author that I read whose book really changed my life was How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Dale Carnegie.
That is Dale Carnegie. It really changed my perspective about doing business, about really making relationships work.
How about locally?
Yeah.
The Ugandan scene.
Yeah, that influencing. I've also had a go at John Maxwell's books that are about leadership. And then quite a number of other authors, really, because I have I've made it a target that every month or every income I get, I buy a book. Yeah.
Lovely.
Every month, when there is money that I have gotten, I just go out there and buy a book. I have quite a number of authors. I look out for what people have read, what people can recommend, what I'm lacking in terms of experience. For example, right now I'm reading The Diary of a CEO. And so there's a lot of experiences that you get from these books. And sometimes you can't influence, you can't write, you can't have the inspiration yourself in you without reading other people's experiences.
Like you said, you need that spark.
Yeah, so you also need a spark, because if inspirational speakers and writers are at a risk of living lonely lives, you being in a box, because everyone thinks you have figured it out.
You're always pouring out.
Then they see you're driving the oldest car. So also you're asking yourself, how is it that
So the math is not mathing.
how is it that the content I'm doing is changing people? They are able
Exactly.
to live better lives and I'm not. There is a very big risk that you can actually live that, you see things are not working for you, but the people you're telling these things to, they are working.
Okay.
So you must empower yourself as well through reading, through, sharing experiences with other people, or other people sharing experiences with you. Yeah.
You can't pour
You
from
have to stay
unlimited.
challenged as well. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's lovely. And we're approaching the end of the show, but I don't want us to leave without sharing a little bit about your LinkedIn experience, your journey there. You are very, for those who know you or those who will discover you from this show, you're very active on LinkedIn. And when you're sharing about making a business work, you talked about being creative and, always finding new ways of doing business. Let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn and how is that supporting your personal brand, but also SwiftMinds?
Yeah, thank you. LinkedIn is a very big tool, but let's talk about generally also first that social media.
Social media. Okay.
So social media has really helped us, especially young people. We never used to have a table at the decision-making table. We never used to have a space there. But social media has really helped us that you can create your own visibility and people get to notice what you're doing. Okay? People are getting rich overnight because of social media. People are getting deals overnight because of social media. And yes, it's possible. But what you have to look out for is ask yourself, what do I want to sell out there? And what am I selling? What is my best platform that I can really
make the most of.
capitalize on? So if it is X, capitalize on X. What are you selling? It should be able to fit to that platform. Is it Instagram? For example, people who are in fashion and all that, you can choose. Yeah, you can choose TikTok, Instagram. If you're into the corporate services like ourselves, I think LinkedIn is a perfect fit because everything is corporate. You're looking for someone who is in the office, is the one who is going to be able to, purchase your services and all that. So yeah, LinkedIn was, I got a wake-up call in 2021 when I worked with some company which was for some French people. And one of their biggest presence was LinkedIn. And they were very serious about telling even employees, please be on LinkedIn so that be visible. So that when we announce that you're the manager of company X, you are the manager of SwiftMinds, someone can find you. The more you are the employee, you are findable. The company is very easy to be found. So, for example, if URA has about 2,000 employees, let's say just 1,000 employees are on LinkedIn, and probably they are sharing something maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. That creates a lot of visibility because your headline will be manager URA. So it creates a visibility for you, but also for the company. So in 2021, that's why I got a wake-up call. I had the account since 2015. But I had not done anything with it.
Wow.
I remember when I opened it up, they told me there's an app where you can get a job. So I opened up and no one was reaching out. I left it, I abandoned it until 2021 when I went back and checked and I had over 2,000 followers. I was like, what are they following me for? I've not even been sharing anything.
Yeah.
That's when I realized, wait, I'm an inspirational speaker. I can always share something with someone out there. So I started sharing slowly by slowly. I worked on the profile. I started sharing like twice a week. 1 month down the road, I never used to have a like. 1 month down the road, I would find 1 like. And then I share again. 6 months down the road, now I have 10 likes. There's people who are now noticing that, oh, this guy actually can share things which are inspirational. You can always go and, follow whatever he's talking about. Cutting the whole story short, right now, I think I'm making over 45,000 followers.
Wow.
And
Well done.
with every 100 people in the corporate space here in Uganda, every 100 people you find one who knows Wasswa Moses. And what that has done is that it evens conversations usually when, especially when you're having client meetings, when you've gone to a place and you think all of them are what? Are strangers.
And then like,
Someone just comes out and says, wait, I know you. Come and meet my MD. You get it? So things become easy. Come and say hello to my MD. You see how business now comes up? Because you're bridging the gap. Someone knows you and they will introduce you somewhere. That's what LinkedIn has done. And even for our company page, we have made sure that we're always sharing about our services, about inspiration and all that. And it has created really impact because people sometimes reach out and be like, there's this bid. Have you guys applied? And we apply. There's this business. For example, this morning, someone just called me and said, by the way, we want to do team building. Do you think you can fit within our budget? I said, who gave you my number? I said, it's some friend of yours, I think from LinkedIn.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so that's how it happens. You get one social media or two social media platforms. You can't be everywhere. Get two social media platforms that work for you and get a niche of information you share. If you are in videography like our directors today, you just get one platform, which is now TikTok, which is very good. TikTok, YouTube, and maybe X. And share about your work. Get a good graphics designer who designs for you a few things here and there. And I think social media has bridged the gap. You can't tell me that you're selling something and it's not visible.
That's true.
Now, there's one thing. You must be consistent.
Yeah,
because the algorithm works with consistency. The algorithm keeps noticing you and says, okay, how long do I recycle this guy's message? Every week, I recycle twice. So every week, the algorithm gets, used to whatever you share, you realize people are noticing, people are following you, people are reaching out to you in your inbox and all that. And that is how most people think, because I shared a video today,
and then like
tomorrow I won't share anything. The consistency is very key. It has also helped me to also tap into personal branding, where I have these conversations with CEOs and people in positions of influence, because most of them thought, oh, I don't need it and all that. Now you're seeing people now, there's a trend of people now popping up. Country directors are now online and all that. If they don't have that time, at least they get someone to manage for them their pages, because presence is key. And presence is now in our palms. I may not see you, but I'll see you here. So what does that mean? It creates the hunger for you to meet me. Creates some kind of virtual celebrity vibes.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
Thanks. So much wisdom today. To our viewers, you guys, we're about to monetize. I'm kidding. But thanks for sharing so openly. This is going to be one of my last questions before we can really wrap it up. You're a family man. That's been established. How are you able to balance fatherhood and all this that you do? Because you're very busy.
Yeah.
How do you make it work? And also just talk to the young men out there, how they can make it work. Because some men will tell you, I don't want to commit right now because I want to focus on my career and things like that. So how do you make it work?
I think how God created relationship with man and woman is that it creates a sense of responsibility.
Okay.
Once you wake up and say and make that decision that I have gone with this person, the one thing that you have to know is how supportive is that person. For me, that is the number one qualifier. How supportive will they be to your dreams, the things you do? How supportive will they be when you're not available? Are they able to carry on with the family? So that is the first thing. Then we look at values like, faith and words, hardworking. I have friends who have married and people who don't even just shower, as simple as showering. So you have to be very keen on the person you bring into your life. So balancing between career and family, it's not easy. But you have to have a partner you fall back on whenever you need that support. When you're not around, for example, you're in Dubai on a business meeting and they carry on, When you dream about something and you share with them, are they the kind of person who is going to, say that is a brilliant idea, or they will bash you and be like,
nah, never gonna
happen. Thinking about that, blah 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 blah. When you're making calls, all the time your phone is buzzing. Is it going to be about which chicks are calling, or is it going to be business? So you have to have a supportive, but also a personal level. I love family. Because at the end of the day, when things are crazy, when I'm so tired, it's the boys I go back to and my wife. So what do? I make sure I also have good customer experience for them. Okay?
Like you're fully...
They are my customers. They are my customers. They are my clients. You must have good customer experience for them. You don't leave your wife 1 month, 6 months without bringing them some gift. Being there, just taking them to dinner or something like that. They're kids. They want to swim. You don't have a swimming pool, right? But there are swimming pools for paying for. So get a weekend, just take them to swim and just be there and observe. Buy this swimming, whatever, and just be there and observe. It's connection. It's the customer experience. Once in a while, don't go home with empty-handed. So as they get to have that relationship with you, things become easy. So when I tell my boys I'm not around for 3 days,
they understand.
Their mother tells me they're always praying. They're saying, God, may you bring Father safe back home. May he come back. May he carry this for us. They're anticipating. Why? Because I have created and I keep creating that customer experience. Guys, don't leave your customer experience at work. Apply it. Even in your other relationships, customer experience is good. I mean, don't remember people only when you need them. Once in a while, we were in Easter period. Did you send out messages? Did you reach out to people? It's that. So you create support systems. It's not like you have family and you'll be carrying them everywhere you go. I'm going with them to the boardroom and all that. No. You create small systems that really help to support you in your presence and absence. But most importantly, create the presence. Because the higher you go up the corporate ladder and business, the busier it gets. So it must be in your mind all the time that I must create presence. Because the moment you disconnect, you don't have a family. The moment the emotional bit is disconnected, you don't have a family anymore. You go back home and the guys are just looking at you, they go to bed. Or they can sleep. But now my boys, they don't sleep until I'm home. They have to force them to sleep. For example, I have delayed like up to 11. They have to force them to go home, to go to bed.
Yeah.
But they stay there. They say, we are waiting for daddy. Even the little guy of 2 years, they're waiting for daddy. So they sleep in the chair. If they're going to doze, they doze in the chair. They say, don't take us until daddy comes.
Wow.
Yeah. So so basically it's the customer experience. What does the corporate world really teach us on how to glue with our families? Because the corporate world wants us to be there to, achieve goals and what our customers have to be this. Our customers at home, they're not getting the same attention. Imagine. And yet these are the people we go back to. So I think it is challenging, but it's possible. It is possible for anyone. Even if you work in Europe, it is possible. At least create time for FaceTime. Every week, make sure twice you are doing FaceTime with your children, with your wife. And make sure you come back at least every 3 months. If I got a job or if I'm working in the US and my family is here, and that job cannot pay for me an air ticket to be here after every 6 months at least, or 3 minimum on maximum 6, I wouldn't take that job. I don't care how much it pays. Because if I lose these guys, I've lost myself. You can have the money, but you don't have the family.
What's it for?
Frustration.
Thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful. Oh, your family, when they watch this, they're going to be like, yes.
Yeah.
Your wife, like, yes, I made the right call. You talked about the importance of like building relationships, obviously at home, at work, and keeping these relationships working. And it reminded me that you said you're active with the HR Association of Uganda.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not saying it right, but somewhere, something like that. How important is it for professionals to be a part of an association and to be very active?
It's very important because you definitely meet like-minded people who are going to share experiences with you, but also for people who want to grow, because you might be looking for a job somewhere else, and then these people that you're connected with, they'll be able to recommend you somewhere else. So the goal, you see, I wish they had told us that the biggest currency in the world is people, is relationships. I would have paused maybe everything else and build relationships. Yeah? In your 20s, you don't think you need people. When you click 30 and you start that career, you get deep into your career, you realize how much you need people. You realize how much you need someone in somewhere in the boardroom who knows you. And when you do that interview, someone says, I know Priska. I know her work ethic. She cannot let us down. Like, everyone needs someone in the corner who can vouch for their work.
That's true.
I remember there's a guy who wanted someone to go and train in Dubai end of last year. And there's this lady who is part of the Human Resource Managers Association of Uganda who said, Moses, Wasswa will do a great job. He will not let you down. And I got on a plane and went and did a training in Dubai for 1 week and came back. So you need such people who are going to vouch for you.
Corner.
It's important. But also, it's very easy to be part of an association when you don't engage. So engaging is very, very key. Events. I see people at association events. I'm also part of the Uganda Marketers Society.
Yes.
I'm soon joining PROW. So, so you go to events and people are seated in the corner with the people that they know. But the essence of these events is that you get out of your shell and get to know 1 or 2 people.
That is true.
I mean, I don't go to events. I usually go to events with a target of knowing 5 people.
Wow.
Whose numbers I'll go with, minimum, and I'll be able to engage after. I want to know more about what Priska does, what opportunities you might have, what opportunities I might have for her.
It's too work.
So it's very easy for you to do, to be part of all these places, but when you don't engage, you don't get the value for your money. And all these associations, you pay money. When you're part of Rotary, you pay money. Lions Club, you pay money. There's no network. Nowadays, even community networks, you pay a membership fee. You're part of CPA, you're part of what? You're part of procurement, you're part of Chihishi Primary School. You have to pay some kind of membership.
Yes.
So if you're paying membership and you're not engaging,
most of it,
you're not connecting, then you're losing the resources. So the essence is be part of associations, be part of different communities, but also meaningfully engage.
Okay, nice. Thank you so much, Moses. We are at that moment, that dreadful hour, and we're winding up. And as we wind up, please share with us, just in a summary, what the future looks like for SwiftMinds, but also what the future looks like for Moses Wasswa.
I think for the future is looking great. Yesterday, the students, I think 4 or 5 years, the students that were in high school, they're now graduates. So it means that you're having more clients, you're having more people to engage with. And I think that is the mind that URA has right now, is the transition of the different taxpayers. I think that even the tax education is going down into primary school, because those are the next taxpayers for, So I think that as a company, the future is bright. Ugandans, we are good. We are, producing as many, clients as possible. But also the region is opening up quite a lot. We have ACFTA, which is also into force, where we are opening different boundaries. It's slow, but it's working. You have AI, which is also making things easier, So the future is bright, I think, not only for SwiftMinds, but for everyone who sees it. It's because you must see it. You must really see the evolution of that future. 10 years from now, what will happen? What will be there? So it's as bright as you envision it. The enabling conditions are happening. I remember the first time when we went looking for a contract in oil and gas, I attended like over, I think, 20 seminars, and there was nothing. Everyone I would meet, they'll be like, I'm tired of these seminars. Nothing is working. We finally got a contract. Okay, we got a contract. Might be small, but we got it. So the future is as bright as you envision it. And maybe this message also goes to you, Prisca.
No, offline.
Yeah. So it's a bright, but the enablers are so many. You have AI, you have all the young people are now graduating to different levels. We are having new clients coming in the market. We have new investors, the foreign direct investment happening. The boundaries are also open.
Yes.
We are looking at going to countries like Malawi, like Zimbabwe, Zambia, Kenya here, Rwanda. We are looking at expanding as far as possible. But all that is possible with meaningful partnerships. So we continue to envision, and I would like us to have that vision together of how our next 10 years is going to look like, 20, and maybe after when we are gone, how will that business look like for the other people? Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Moses. It's been an honor sitting down with you and having this conversation. So rich, so wise, so knowledgeable. And I'm thinking you're still a young person, but you have so much, to offer. So thank you. Thank you for investing in yourself and ultimately investing in all of us. To our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. You honor us with your presence. Continue to, keep it. URA TV. When you watch, feel free to like and subscribe and do all those nice things for us. For me, what I really took away from our conversation is it's important to build relationships, not just at work, but also to your stakeholders at home. Keep your customer happy at home and at work. Until next time, we love you, stay healthy, and bye-bye.